made a video about Iran striking DIMONA, which is pretty much the nuclear facility, the city that has the nuclear study facility, research center for Israel, for the small hat nation, right? And they hit the area near it, okay? And that's a game changer in the war itself. But I was blending stories, because I was thinking when people were saying that they hit this place that it was such a big deal. I'm thinking it was like, okay, well, it was so far away from Iran. It dawned on me. I'm like, well, Iran has already been firing missiles at Israel. So, like, they've been firing missiles at each other back and forth with no problem. But then I forgot about the story of Diego Garcia. That was the one that shocked everybody as far as the capability and the reach that Iran has. All right, so excuse me for the conflicting stories, kind of blended the facts and everything. But the rest of the video was dope because I was getting into what this potentially means with them striking a nuclear or near a nuclear facility. So make sure y'all go check that out, man. And that video link is in the description as well. So that was made a little earlier than this one. So I sincerely apologize for the confliction, so to speak. But let me just give my opinion on this whole thing about this hitting near Diego Garcia. And okay, so like, this is big because most people believe that Iran's capability was limited. It may still be, limited to short range, and definitely not, from what everybody believes, they're not able to hit the U.S. mainland and other, past out a certain amount. Now, this missile, these two that they fired, they were intermediate missiles, and they were fired at the Diego Garcia base. Now, Diego Garcia base, that is like one of the premier bases of the U.S. military. That is in the Indian Ocean. Okay, so it was always believed that Iran didn't have the capability to really reach that far or even hit it. Okay, but they apparently did. Okay, so they reached near that area where that base was at, and they thought it was unreachable. And it's kind of getting the small hat nation, and especially U.S., kind of worked out, because they know that now this ain't a game. And like I said in the previous video, Iran was just pretty much using a lot of their older stock, and now they're starting to bring out more serious stuff. Okay, they're bringing up serious stuff, just like the missile that hit DIMONA. It did a lot of damage over there. Now, when people say, well, they didn't hit the base, well, maybe they targeted a little before DIMONA, because they didn't want to really cause any fallout. Okay, it's just like with these missiles. Oh, these missiles didn't hit the base itself. It hit near it. Well, maybe it was just like to let them know, we can reach out and touch you at certain distances. So just back off a little bit. Leave us alone. We don't want to hurt. We don't really want to do this, but we've shown you that we can do this. Maybe that's what's going on now. You're getting a lot of conflicting messages coming out of the Iranian government. You got people saying pretty much, like the Iranian media mayor, I'm not sure how to really pronounce it. They're saying that this is confirmed. They're saying that the range is beyond what the enemy imagined. This is what the Iranian media is saying. And then you got an Iranian official. He's coming out saying that Iran was not responsible for this. Okay, so you're getting conflicting stories. And then you got the tiny hat nation's IDF chief. He's feeling a little different about this. He's saying pretty much, Paris and Rome were in direct range of this missile. And then the UK Ministry of Defense condemning this. So you got all these people saying different stuff, man. So especially with Iran, Iran is saying two different things. Iran is saying they're denying this, and then you got the media saying that they did it. In my opinion, it's like Iran kind of like laughing off something that they did, purposely laughing it off. I think it was kind of like denying it as like a smug way of denying something, kind of like sarcasm. Nah, we didn't do that. It wasn't us. I don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of like one of them things. I think that's what we're seeing. But this is big because this should let the U.S. and the tiny head nation know this is not Venezuela you're dealing with. This ain't Venezuela. This is a much more capable country. And I believe the missiles were intentionally fired to not hit the base. I guess it was a tactic for them because I believe if it landed near the base, it could have hit the base. But from what I'm hearing is it was shot down. Two of them. One of them failed mid-flight, and I think the other one was shot down by the U.S. military. So, I don't know. Maybe they sent something that, the first one that didn't make it, maybe it was a dud. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was some test rounds that they knew that would happen, or they probably was feeler rounds. Like, okay, let me just toss these out here. I know the U.S. is probably going to catch them, but let me just toss them out anyway. Either way you look at it, it's kind of like signaling to their enemies, yo, listen, you think we only have short-range missiles. We probably got some stuff that can reach further than this, because 4,000 kilometers is a little short of 2,500 miles. That's 2,500 miles in layman's terms. So that is half of the distance. It would almost half. That falls, if you add another 2,500 miles to that, that is short of what it would take to hit the mainland of U.S. Okay, so Iran and the U.S. mainland is about 6,000 miles away. All right, so if you add another 25 on top of that 25, it's 5,000 miles. Now, like I said, we don't know what these people may have. They may have stuff they might have ICBMs. When you have an indirect ally like Russia or China, you don't know what they're giving these people, man. You don't know. And how do I feel about that? Well, I don't feel no way about it because they didn't start this war. We did. They didn't start this war. If they really wanted to do something, if they really had ICBMs to touch us, Iran could have been used one of those on us a long time ago, or at least attempted to. All right, but even if they have them, they probably didn't want. They didn't have no reason to really use it on the United States, so they just keeping that on the wraps. The real big boys, they don't want to bring those out. I don't think they don't really want to fucking bring those out because they understand that would escalate stuff. I don't think Iran wants to really escalate things. I think they're just being defensive and letting them showing strength. I think that's what this is all about too. But this is like a game changer almost because it was landed near the base. So the U.S. and them didn't expect this to happen. So they know that they're dealing with a formidable enemy now. Right? So this is something to pay attention to and watch. This is interesting, man. This war is escalating on different levels. We got nuclear sites getting struck. We got bases by the military getting struck that they thought probably couldn't be reached. Now you know that they can reach out and touch you. So now this is kind of like, uh-oh. Okay, let's think about what's the next move here. But knowing how we are, sometimes we just got too much pride and we gotta go full steam ahead with everything. So, hey, next couple of days should be rather interesting. We'll see what's going to unfold. But let me know what you think about Iran with the mid-range capability that nobody thought was possible, nearly striking a premier U.S. military base in the Indian Ocean, man, Diego Garcia. But let me know how you feel this Rebel World News. Please subscribe to the channel and like, share the video, everything, all that good stuff. I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed. I'll catch y'all later.